So today I want to talk about transiting Jupiter trine natal Pluto. So this is peculiar, okay? We have right now Jupiter at 0 degrees of Aries, and my Pluto is at 0 degrees of Sagittarius. The Pluto in Scorpio generation was about this, undoing and destruction. And then the Sagittarius generation is like just not taking shit because we're Sagittarius. Yeah, my generation is the one that says no to like a lot of the things that the previous generations were forced to do, which is why we're like gay and non-binary and just like not putting up with shit, for lack of a better word. So this is in my first house. I'm figuring out, very basic ego things right now, like who am I? What is my work? What is my purpose? All of this stuff. There have been, and I've been doing this research. So there have been some revelations and there are some certain understandings and knowings regarding these matters. There have been changes to what I value and what I will be valuing for the long-term future, okay? So this is a trining aspect, meaning that what has happened so far, the transformations and changes that have taken place so far are aiding me with what's going on with this Uranus and Taurus situation in the world, but also with my own Plutonian issues, okay? To do research on my birth chart, on my human design, on various new things that I can get involved with in terms of education, giving myself introductions to different things that I can be learning and doing for the rest of my life. That's going to benefit me and create the legacy that I am destined to have. This is very difficult for people to understand because they resent the amount of privilege that comes with being in this situation. It is very privileged, but the thing is like I've done the prep work for this. So I don't feel sorry about that at all. People might be mad that you actually have this level of freedom at this time because there's so many people out in the world with this Uranus and Taurus going on, clutching their pearls about every little economic shift and change. And it's like, I recognize how that's important and how that's not important for my own personal life. A lot of the things that I'm able to bypass at this moment due to Jupiter's blessings, because there have been enough changes going on before and I've had enough foresight into what's happening now. So think of the Tower in tarot. Normally when you pull this card, you're like falling from the top of the building, all dramatic, whatever. This is not like that. Somebody gave you a lot of warning about this. You've had all this time to prepare. You packed your bags. You knew what shelter you were going to. You moved out and you're like, yeah, we know this tower is going to break down in the next storm. And then the next storm comes and you're there. The ground is shaking. The earth is trembling. There's lightning coming from the sky. If you didn't see this, you're freaking dumb. You still needed this tower and you still valued this tower, but you knew inevitably that the shit was just going to happen. And you saw this tower as something that was limiting you and preventing you from leveling up in certain areas in your life. And so it had to go, and it's just going now. Now Jupiter is giving you the space, the resources, the ability to invest into a new future. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a lot of research as to what I can do to educate myself. I want to be sure that I emphasize the importance of research during this time. I do have some experience doing UX design. And so what can sometimes happen is that we can spend a lot of time, maybe it's 1 week, maybe it's 1 month, maybe it's 1 year on a function or aspect of the whole. That's not worth it at all. Users don't notice it, they don't use it, they don't like it, and you wasted a ton of time and resources on that. Resources that could have been spent on creating the next big thing or making more money. Let's just put it plain and simple, right? So we need to do the research to make sure that we are investing in the right thing. And so this has been a huge lesson for me because before, when I had my Uranus square Uranus, I think, my Uranus square Uranus, I got invested into some things that I just really thought, oh, okay, this makes sense with my skill set and it will make me a lot of money and it's pretty reliable and da-da-da. So I was just looking at it from that screen and not the screen of like how that aligns with like how I personally kick ass and shine and the important things it is for me to do when I'm working and just being realistic about what my body would like to handle for work. Like, can I sit in a chair for 8 hours? These kind of questions. Like, you need to do a research on the entire thing and get it right this time. This is the time to do it right. And you can do it right by going deep, going as deep as you can and taking all of the knowledge you have acquired about yourself as a human and then bringing that into the next phase. Yeah, we don't want to leave any stone unturned, and it's no pressure. We've already made the fuck ups. That's the beautiful thing. You've already made the fuck ups. Now you just have to string it all together. So research on what's the most important for you. Know what's not important for you. And then you can start to make some investments. And that's going to be the start of this beautiful, wonderful new beginning. Yes, I am losing certain things in my life. Certain things are definitely falling apart. There's definitely the stability that's occurring. And I may not have all of the resources and like the typical way you think of resources, but actually I'm well off. I'm actually rich on the inside and I have resources for when that shit hits the fan, when that shit hits the fan, when this shit hits the fan. This is not things that we haven't been through before. And this is just continuing to build up the character and the strength to move forward, to be able to start over and be strong and be confident in self, knowing that you can do it. We watch ourselves and what we've accomplished. We watch other people and what they've accomplished, and we are affirmed in our ability to move forward and to be a fucking kick-ass motherfucker. So what I recommend is surrender. Whatever shit is falling apart in your life, whatever thing is happening in your 12th house. Like, yeah, I'm looking at my 12th house also because right now I have Venus there and she's doing her thing in the 12th house and I'm just allowing all this shit to fall down. I'm not making sudden decisions. I'm not racing into things. I have Saturn in Aries, so I have this impulsive drive to just like get started on new projects without doing the proper research. So I'm allowing myself to take the time to do the thing. I don't need to explain myself to everybody. I just have to keep following myself, trusting these Plutonian events. Because this is happening in my first house, this has a lot to do with what I claim to do for my profession and career life. There's been so much information that I've gathered on so many different topics. There's been these crazy experiences that I've had in the dance world that are preparing me for the future and what I'm going to enter. And it's all good. We know that there's been a lot of pain, a lot of anger, a lot of things that have come up for us, a lot of things showing their ass, a lot of things showing that they don't work. And we're like, you know what? Bring them all together. Bring them all. Give them all to me because this is information. This is data. And this is data that other people don't have access to.
So when you do finally move forward and to start make some decisions when it's aligned and things are continuing to move up and forward and on, you will get motherfuckers questioning you, coming for you, telling you that you haven't earned this and you haven't earned that. Well, you can tell them to kiss the ring because you've done your work. You don't have to be them. You don't have to do anything. You have to be you and you have to do your work. It's your life. So yeah, you can tell these motherfuckers to fuck off and use what you have. You're going to have it. And if anything, I would just say, like, enjoy the fortification process of your self-confidence. That's all I have for today, so goodbye.